Great for you, put you back on the lead lap and give you a shot to win this race down at the end. From your perspective, your last 4 laps on that restart, what were you trying to do to win?
Yeah, absolutely. That restart is really what saved the whole 200 for me. We were doing pretty good in the first stint, and we were all up there. You know, it was a lot of battling up front. It was very fun. First stop went very well. The second stint was going good as well, and then second stint we had a little problem down in pits, and that's when I lost, quite a lot of time. And when I went out, I saw that I was P10. I recovered to about P6, but I was still a whole lap down. The good thing is I was with Bobby and Pash, who were 1-2, so I knew I had the rhythm. I was fine. I was bummed out, considering I was running their rhythm, but I was still a lap down. But when I saw the red flag, I thought the race was going to be done, considering it was, past 3/4, and I thought, I didn't know how Daytona worked. But as I got into pits, they told me that I might have gotten a restart. So I was like, oh, okay. I was just crossing my fingers that moment, and when they told me that I was on the lead lap, I just knew that it was time to push. I knew everyone was going to be really, really close. I knew it was going to be a really nice 4 laps, and so it was. It was pretty intense. Like Bobby says, it's very hard to have a strategy here. I knew I wasn't going to be able to lead out of the last chicane because I tried it and I got slipstream every single time, of course. And I even knew that even with one bike in front of me, it was going to be hard because I was passing and then getting passed again. So I knew that I was going to have to be about third or fourth to be able to get a win. And I tried in the last lap. I started it last, and then I got passed. I don't know by who it was going into the last corner, and I got hit by Pash on the outside, and that's when I really got unsettled, and I got passed by a few others. So I just decided to sit in fifth for the whole lap, and then I just started slipstreaming and kind of crossed my fingers that it was going to go as I wanted it to. And I think I just needed another half a second on Wyman just to pass him, but we're still, good with P2, considering it was looking pretty bad at the halfway mark, and nothing. Just want to thank the whole entire team for giving me an awesome bike, and just looking forward to the rest of the season.
Thanks, Sean. Open up for questions.
Sean, you after your second pit stop, you lost some time, but you got up to the leaders, and you were mixing it up with the leaders. Did you have a hope that it would save the race for you? And how did you react when you realized it did, in fact, allow you to be on the lead lap for the restart?
I actually didn't think it would. I wasn't thinking about the whole restart thing because I'm used to races where past the 3/4 mark, you can't restart, and I didn't know Daytona was the other way around. So I just told myself, after we lost the whole lap, I just told myself, don't give up. I know Daytona is. Anything can happen, so I just told myself, don't give up and just push, and I just kept on going. I saw Pash and Bobby got there, and I was just going with them, and I didn't want to wait to the end for anything. I just kept on doing my job and pretending I was up front with them, and everything happens for a reason, so here we are.
John, what happened on the pit stop that caused you to lose so much time?
I'm actually not quite sure. I just got there, and we had something going on with the bike. Luckily, they were able to get it fixed, and I was able to go back out. But just a shame, we lost that time there. But it's all good.
Okay, we'll go to Kyle, then we'll go back to you guys. Kyle, take us through the finish. You went for leading out of the chicane. What made you that confidence to do that, and how did you close out a victory here in the Daytona 200?
Honestly, it's a little bit of confidence, but also a little bit of hesitance because I knew I couldn't draft to the line to win. I was trying to all race long, and we were missing a little bit of top end speed. So I knew that I had pace in the infield because that second stint, I was feeling really good. I was with Sean and Brandon, and felt like I had a little bit on him in the infield, so I decided to put my head down and built a 5-second gap. So I was like, okay, definitely my strong suit is in the infield. So going into the restart, let's back up. The third stint. At the end of that second stint, I ran out of fuel on the last lap, and these guys came whizzing by in the East Bank, and I was like, my race, this lead I built up, burned my tires up and everything. it's just gone, you know, and came back out and just trying to recap it all. It's hard to remember, it's almost like a separate race, you know. Came back out in the third stint and I saw like plus 11 or minus 11 in front and plus 20 behind. So I was pretty much, I mean, it's gonna be really tough to build that, you know, bridge that 11-second gap. So I was like, okay, well, let me make sure I can make it to the checkers on fuel, because the last stint I didn't. So I started short shifting, you know, because I had plus 20. I guess it's third place it's gonna be today, and just conserved and man, how things change. So get out there, and I knew I had to lead, because that was really my only shot, was to try to build a gap and shake the draft, get small, and man, it worked out pretty good. I was lucky to be able to be aggressive enough to stay at the front, because I mean, I don't know what it looked like, but there had been 10 guys, you know, freight train. So turn one was a little crazy, but luckily I got a good start. I don't think I fell beyond third that whole time. Made sure I led into turn one on the last lap and just gave it everything I had.
Red flag, what's going through your mind when you got a red flag that's shown? Are you excited? Are you like wondering what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely definitely wondering what's happening, because things seem to be a little confusing around here sometimes, to put it lightly, I guess. But yeah, it turned out that we were gonna have a 4-lap sprint, and at that point, it's like, well, it is what it is, you know. I was not happy, but I was like, okay, we're gonna salvage a podium with running out of fuel and having a kind of a botched pit stop, because I was flustered when I came in. It's like, okay, it's gonna be all right. And then red flag, I was like, well, let me think. There's two ways to look at this. A, I'm kind of screwed, because, you know, I can't draft to the line. I'm probably gonna get freight trained. Or, you know, what if I can build that gap? You know, what if it was possible? So I had to go with that.
Hey Bobby, would you take me through the last lap? You know, Kyle takes the lead going into one there, and you're right there behind him. How'd you play out the last lap?
I just want to stay as close to him close to him as possible. I couldn't, honestly, believe it or not, I thought his bike was extremely fast. I couldn't even get me when I came onto the first banking behind him, and I couldn't even pass him. So I was waving somebody by me. I think it was Sean or something. And I was waving somebody by, like, hey, somebody pass me so we could work together to try to catch him in the draft. Like, literally, his bike was a rocket ship. And then he ended up passing me, and then I knew I was harder on the brakes in the chicane. And I passed him back in the chicane, and man, I couldn't hold on or anything. And then him and Posh bumped each other on the banking, and it was just like a cluster on the banking. I probably was a little aggressive at the end and kind of chopped Posh's wheel a little bit, probably just to get back in, because he came in on the inside, Posh came in on the inside, and then I got down, and I was pretty aggressive and got in front of Posh to make sure I got on the podium. But I was just stoked to get on the podium, because I thought for sure that it was gonna be 10 guys flying by me. But that was definitely in that front three, so I don't know what was going on behind us, but I know that it had to be a freight train.
So you were 100% coming out of the infield, you know, and he just.
I mean, he's riding awesome. I mean, you got a best drive, and yeah, I just couldn't do it today.
And Kyle, did you put on new tires on the end, and if so, what kind of
Yeah, new front and new rear.
race compound?
Yeah, race compound. I think that we dropped the pressure in the rear a little bit, which is kind of their qualifying strategy, where, you know, you can get kind of 3 flyers out of it. And because it was a 4-lap restart, we decided to do that kind of same qualifying strategy. And
DOTs?
no, they're slicks. Still a Daytona slick, you know, harder on the left, at least on the rear. The front's standard. They don't have a Daytona front. So yeah, we did. I didn't find out till after, but Oscar was like, yeah, we dropped the pressure, wanted to know how it felt. We went new front and new rear because I was really comfortable on new tires. You know, it didn't take laps to come in or anything, so you know I knew I could go out there and put my head down.
So what's it mean to win the Daytona 200?
It's the money in the bank.
Oh, it's absolutely unreal. I actually, David knows, John knows, but this is a place that is actually produced some of the lowest of lows in my life, and now the highest of highs. 10 years ago, we were here in October, and I lost my brakes going into turn 6, and T-boned a rider and got into the air fence. Maybe saved my life, the air fence. Spent 3 weeks in the hospital. You're welcome, Chris. Spent 3 weeks in the hospital in Orlando with a broken leg, and just really grateful. Came back, the next time I came back was in 2011 here in the XR 1200 series, and it was kind of my first race on my own, if you will, and won my first pro race in 2011. That was with the Richie Morris Racing team, and then 2012 was when I started KWR, and came here in a pickup truck in an XR 1200, won the race, and got a lot of sponsors, and then started that XR 1200 rental program where I had 30 freaking Harleys under my tent, and that was how I kept going. And this is my third Daytona 200. I did my first one was in 2014, and I finished 6th. And then 2017, I rode for these guys' team in M4 Suzuki and finished 4th. It's surreal to sit here and think about the fact that I won it, and man, this is as legit of a field as it's been in a long time, and to have a sprint race like that where everybody's stacked back up on the grid, and whoever comes out on top, I feel maybe would be the best guy on that day, and I'm just extremely grateful to be here and just so elated. It means everything.
So for each of you, is this a special place?
Sure, it is definitely, it's just the vibe here, just coming here, flying into, Florida, just knowing that it's bike week, and you got all these crazy Harleys everywhere, and everybody's just excited, just ecstatic, and the banking, just being here, the Daytona 500, and all that stuff. So it's definitely just real nerve-wracking, and it's exciting being here, and it's a one-off race for sure, and it's always going to be good on the podium, and it's like it's almost like winning a championship. Unfortunately, I don't know what that feels like, but it definitely is a good feeling, I'm sure. Feels pretty good.
And adding on to Bobby, for me, it's my first time out officially with the team, and it's really just been a dream for me to be able to ride here since I was 12. I've been coming here and watching people race, and I always wanted to have the opportunity to do 200, and what better than to do your first 200 with just about the best team I can think of. And yesterday was already a dream day for me, being the youngest one to make the pole here. And of course I wanted to be, do dream number 2 of being the youngest one to win a 200, but I'm pretty sure if I win next year, I'd still be the youngest, so we're gonna try.
You would be the youngest next year if you won again. You came back and won.
We'll try.
Okay, good deal. Anything else? Okay. Guys, great job. Great show out there. Congratulations to all of you.
You need help with that?
Thank you. It's gonna be on the podium. It's crazy. Yeah. John's always crazy.
Tension and a little bit of discomfort. Just take an exertion and take a look at it.
Yeah.
I think it's a sprain.
Yeah.
You crashed?
Again. Again.
You did it on the 1200 too.
Yes, twice.
I can give you Good? Do you mind? Take that break. This gentleman from Daytona will take it, and I'm gonna go with you, okay?
Bobby, I can take you on the golf cart if you want, it's up to you. Or you can walk, I'm not.
Me and my rig later.
Okay.